What OST? What are you talking about? There is no, I'm so sorry. Plants vs. Zombies is better composed than Chrono Trigger, Earthbound. I'm really shocked that this is a real list. So it's been brought to my attention recently that OperaGX has made a top 100 OST list. I know not everybody cares about OSTs, even gamers themselves, not everybody cares about it, but I wanted to look at this because the first few were brought to my attention and my reactions to them were so wild that I just gotta go all the way down this rabbit hole and see just how bad this list is. I've been told it's rancid, and I know that opinions are completely subjective. I do understand that, but there's definitely like an idea as far as like what you look for with a good OST. Is it so atmospheric that you can't forget it? Like, it's even the atmospheric tune is just something that is stuck in your head, or it made you feel a really special way. Or is it so melodic that the songs are stuck in your head for like years? That's what I look for with a good OST, mostly the melodic side. The atmospheric has its rare exceptions, but that's okay. That's just to say that I at least have a baseline as far as accepting atmospheric tracks. With that said, let's check out what OperaGX thought were the top 100 OSTs. Now, quickly, the rules here is that you can only pick one game out of an entire franchise. That's definitely going to go over poorly. That's going to put them up for even more scrutiny about what's the best OST for that particular franchise. It's going to be fun. This is going to be a dumpster fire, so let's check it out. Okay, so first, we have Billy Bus Step. Not gonna make any mean comments about this one. Billy Bus Step is a indie game, so it's kind of cool that even if it is at 100, it's the first OST that everyone's gonna see on this list, and being that it's a indie title that could use the exposure, cool. I'm gonna just say cool. I don't remember the music, but I only played the demo for it though, so just take that for what you will. Number 98. Jetpack Joyride. What? Jetpack Joyride? Okay, I know there's 100 of these. This is like way at the top of the list. I'm not even gonna make any. Let's move on as fast as we can here. Fortnite is really high at the top of the list, so I guess that's not saying too much about it. But again, you know, Overwatch. See, now again, these are just like high-profile games that don't actually have really good OSTs. Mother 3. Okay. This is where I was like, okay, just stop here. I'm going to keep going on my own. But Mother 3, first of all, this is really high up on this list. It should be it should be in the top 10. And I don't even personally believe that Mother 3 has a better OST than Earthbound. I mean, there's definitely an argument to be made about whether or not Mother 3 is a better RPG than Earthbound. I don't personally believe that. I think that Earthbound is the better RPG as well. But the OST is definitely leagues better, at least in my opinion, for Earthbound. But that's beside all the point. Whether or not we agree on Mother 3 being the superior one or not, doesn't matter. The point is, this didn't even crack the top 50. Wow. And this is the entire catalog of available songs across all three of the games. Okay, we got Stardew Valley, pretty high up on the list, but also it's a pretty good OST. It's not terrible or anything like that. Oh my God, number 91 is Animal Crossing New Horizons. What the heck is going on? Okay, first of all, New Horizons, not the best OST in the franchise. I do think it goes to the GameCube original. Maybe I have a nostalgia bias there. But based off of what I've gone back to and re-listened to across the entire franchise, I personally think that the GameCube soundtrack is the most inventive, and also it's very catchy. I think that the original main theme is the strongest out of all the games, and the songs that play throughout the days, I think that just in general it's more varied, and it just has a better composition overall for the GameCube one. That all being said, too, again, not even in the top 50. I am really excited to see what even makes the top 50 that is beating out Earthbound and Animal Crossing. Let's keep it going. Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed 2 just beat out Earthbound and Mother 3. It's just, that's going to be the thing that kills me time and time again, is putting something like Mother 3 that low on the list and then getting lost to Far Cry 3. Oh man, Wii Sports. Yeah, oh my god, Wii Sports, one of the best OSTs of all time. Definitely need to crack the top 100 for sure. What? Rocket League. I don't remember any songs from Rocket League. Fantastic game. I loved playing it. I couldn't for the life of me even remember if there is an OST in Rocket League. I thought it was just all sounds and ambiance with the sounds. I don't remember there being a soundtrack to Rocket League. That isn't to say that there isn't one, I just don't remember it to that degree that I could actually be told that there is no OST and believe that. Wow. Peggle. The top track, Ode to Joy by Ludwig van Beethoven. Wait a second here. Wait. Oh, seriously? We're going to give Beethoven gamer cred? That's what we're doing here for this list? Opera. What the heck is going on here? Castle. All right, look. This one. This is, okay. I know I said it earlier, but this was actually where I said, you know, please stop. Because this one in particular drove me nuts. All right. Castlevania Judgment is one of the most awful games to ever grace all of gaming, let alone one of the worst Wii games of all time. It has one of the stupidest art directions I've ever seen, and I love the artist who's responsible for Death Note. Didn't belong in a Castlevania game, and they made Simon Belmont look like a total weirdo. I couldn't believe it. That being said, like, yes, it's remixed tracks from previous Castlevania games. They're not the superior versions in any sense. I don't understand how somebody could sincerely pick Castlevania Judgment. It's at this point that I have to wonder, is this AI generated? Could it be AI generated? Because who the heck would in good conscience play the Castlevania games and go, Castlevania Judgment is definitely the best. It beats out Symphony of the Night. It beats out Super Castlevania. It beats out Rondo of Blood. It beats out freaking Castlevania 3, Castlevania 1, or the remakes. Wow. Freaking wow. And that's number 74, by the way. Castlevania has been placed at number 74. Now we get to find out which games have a better soundtrack than the Castlevania franchise. Get ready. We got Team Fortress 2. There's definitely a couple of memorable tracks. It's just not a very... there's not a lot of tracks to Team Fortress 2. Most of the time, it's just... But, like, I know that there's other tracks. Like, there's tracks that were made for the trailers and then they're injected into the game. There are some really good compositions here. I just don't think that... I would have never thought to put Team Fortress 2 in a top 100 OST list. Grand Theft Auto 5. So with Grand Theft Auto, it's all songs that were made by established musicians from the music industry. How does that count? How does that even begin to count? I know that there's like a scant few original compositions for Grand Theft Auto 5. We know that's not what they're talking about here. They're talking about the songs that you listen to on the radio. If we're even gonna go there, shouldn't it be Guitar Hero? I mean, maybe Guitar Hero wins out on this list, but like Guitar Hero 1, 2, or 3, like they have much better track listings than Grand Theft Auto 5. Right? Can we agree on that? No? Maybe not. But even still, like, I just don't believe that This is so insincere when you're thinking about like the best compositions made for a video game, and you put Grand Theft Auto 5 on there. A Hat in Time. Loved the game. I loved it. I don't remember the music being bad, but I don't remember any of the music from the game either. And I did play that to completion. I beat that game. So, interesting choice. Chrono Trigger's at 70? Okay, I did not know this. What? I am so sorry if I spiked the mic there. Chrono Trigger at 70? I think that's the greatest soundtrack of all time. That would be my number one. These people are aware of Chrono Trigger, and it's at 70. They know the songs in that game enough to include this on their list. And there are 69 other games that they think have a better soundtrack than Chrono Trigger. I can't. I'm so sorry. This is BS. I can't. What is gonna be the next one? What is gonna be number 69 that beats out Chrono Trigger? Outer Wilds. No freaking way. I'm so sorry. Cuphead serves a purpose. Cuphead does what it needs to do. It needs to sound old-timey. And, you know, it's got that main theme that sounds really old-timey. You telling me that people are jamming out to Cuphead? Oh, man. This is just going to become more and more infuriating as we go down the list, isn't it? I can't believe this. They think that Cuphead is better than Chrono Trigger. This is wild. I cannot believe that they even knew what Chrono Trigger was, and that they would put this on the list. Ruiner. Never played it. I'm sorry. Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, this one, it's got a good main theme, and they play that perpetually in variants throughout the entire game. Definitely doesn't beat out Chrono Trigger by any stretch. I can't believe. I gotta avoid talking about Chrono Trigger because it's just gonna become a broken record at this point. But with Baldur's Gate 3, really good main theme. I've found myself listening to that OST a couple of times after the game's release, and I would listen to it again, and I can remember the melody to the song. But again, I think the biggest issue is that it's got one great song, and then the rest just is... it serves the atmosphere of the game, but it doesn't really have that level of earworminess as the main theme, which that's okay. But again, it's wild that it's outranking things like Earthbound and Chrono Trigger, and I would expect something like this to be like towards the 100 side, 90 to 100, but it's not my list. Opinions are subjective. Katana Zero, that's an interesting choice. I don't really think that it was the best OST. It's not a bad OST by any means. I mean, of course, if it's on this list, it shouldn't be bad, I don't think. But not my favorite. Like, it's a great game. I do suggest you play it because it's got amazing gameplay. But it's got a pretty forgettable soundtrack. The Undertale Yellow. Great fan remixes of those songs. It's a fan game though. Like, I guess, again, big kudos to those fan creators. I guess it must be really exciting to see your fan game shared here in this list. I'm just surprised. I just thought that this would be something that would be like official releases. But, you know, again, big congratulations to the fans who composed that soundtrack. Actually, I think I know the person that did compose at least some of the tracks. It was Master Sword, I believe, is what he likes to go by. Really talented creator. Super Smash Brothers Brawl. That's an interesting one, number 53. Again, not going to try to talk about the ones that it beat out, but I did think that the remixes for Brawl were really good. I guess the question I have is, why wouldn't you just do Ultimate, since it carries over almost all the remixes from Brawl? It's kind of interesting. Shadow of the Colossus at number 50. Ooh, woo, 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 woo. Shadow of the Colossus is an amazing soundtrack. Basically all the Team Eco songs. The Last Guardian, which was the last game that they ever got to put out, I hope that that's on this list because that has an amazing soundtrack as well. I might even say that it does beat out Shadow of the Colossus, but there's just a amazing soundtrack in Shadow of the Colossus. I think I would probably put it in the like 40s, but it's hovering in around the same area. So kudos to them for putting it pretty high up on the list. Let's see what else they got. That was a good choice. I feel like a good placement and a good choice. Fall Guys at number 45. What the hell? Fall Guys beats out Shadow of the Colossus, Chrono Trigger, and Earthbound. That's incredible. What is up with this list? How was this made? Was it made by a committee of people? Is this AI generated? I don't know. I want to hope that it was AI generated. I know that would get them a lot of crap, but it would at least make a lot of sense as to what's going on here. Oh my god. So we just hit Zelda. Remember, there's no other Zelda game that is going to be able to hit this list. So at number 42, we got our Zelda placement. And Ocarina of Time. Really good game to choose. Would I make that my choice? I think maybe. I think it would be the Ocarina of Time. Would probably be my choice too. That's a really tough one though, because Link's Awakening has a really great soundtrack, and especially, well, I don't really love the arrangement of the remake. So either you got your old 8-bit chiptunes, or you have an arranged version that's not quite what I would hope it would have been. So I guess I would still pick Ocarina of Time. Yeah. Hey, at least it didn't go Breath of the Wild. I mean, that would have just drove me nuts. Like, a great game. Don't get me wrong. I know some people find really big enjoyment out of its soundtrack, but I mean, the best in the series. Can we at least be realistic about that? I guess I'll give them that. But again, 42 for the series with one of the most celebrated soundtracks across almost all the games. Wow. All right. Let's see what just beat out Ocarina of Time. Dead Cells. Dead Cells is apparently better than any game in the Legend of Zelda franchise. Wild stuff. What? I'm so sorry. Plants vs. Zombies is better composed than Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, and Ocarina of Time, and Shadow of the Colossus. Unreal. Okay, here we go. The Mario rep. Super Mario Galaxy at number 29. First of all, I think I would put Zelda above Mario, anything from Mario, but that's such a tough. This is why it's such a bad idea to have made one rep for your series that you choose to franchise, because there are many Mario games that have amazing OSTs, and so far I haven't seen any evidence that we're gonna see the spin-off games like Paper Mario or Mario RPG or anything like that. So if this is the only Mario game, this is tough. Like, I would have to like sit here and really do like a brainstorm about what's the best Mario OST. But Mario Galaxy is really epic. I don't think it's very indicative of the Mario music as a whole. But it is really beautiful at times and really epic and really catchy at times. So I think that's a very interesting choice, and I respect it more than a lot of other choices on this list. But I don't know if I would pick that as my number one. It's tough, but it's a respectable choice, I guess. I mean, like, it's easier to just go with the classics like Mario 3 or Super Mario World. I can't believe... Mario 64, maybe. I don't know. Again, lots of thought would need to be put into that one. But Mario Galaxy is a pretty solid choice, I guess. Death Stranding. I don't remember any. Like, I played that for about 8 hours. I don't remember any of the music from that game. Maybe somewhere at some point it just sort of picks up. Final Fantasy VII at number 27. Interesting. Final Fantasy, it obviously is one of the series with the best OSTs of all time. Too many games to count to pick the best. Final Fantasy VII is a really solid choice. I think that on the whole, the entire OST is very enjoyable. I think that it competes, in my opinion, with Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy IX's OST. There obviously, like, there's going to be a lot of disagreement there as far as which one has the best amongst people that played the other games. But for me, I think that 6, 9, and 7 are all really good choices for the best to represent it. 7 is a really good choice, though, so I guess 7's an okay choice. I'm just surprised that it's 27. What? Let's continue to disappoint ourselves by seeing what's better than Final Fantasy VII. Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a great game. It has great OST, but it's not. It serves the game very well. It serves its atmosphere very, very well. And there are times where you might remember some of the tunes to some degree, but it's really more about getting you to feel something, whether it be somberness or just anxiousness with a sense of like gothic. And I think that's pretty good. I think that it as far as atmospheric music goes, I guess it is good to rank it higher than Final Fantasy VII, Ocarina of Time, Earthbound, and Chrono Trigger. Though I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, if we're talking about just the games themselves, sure, but the OST, Skyrim, one good song from that game, and it was the one that was in the trailer. And outside of that, not much else. Kingdom Hearts 1. Oh, again, 22. So there's 21 more to go. At least there's a lot more to talk about now that we're getting down to the top 30. Kingdom Hearts, amazing soundtrack, of course. It's the same composer as Street Fighter 2 and Super Mario RPG. Great composer, and she's definitely at her absolute best with Kingdom Hearts. The series has done so well to have her, so I will definitely give them high praise. It's kind of sitting pretty amongst a lot of franchises I feel like do have better soundtracks. Let's just see where this goes, okay? Half-Life 2. Oh my god, no. What OST? What are you talking about? There is no... most of the game is just not even like atmosphere in terms of music. It sprinkles in like dust, like basalt, like the tiniest amount of sprinkle of OST, and it's not the most memorable either. How could you possibly... Did they just like stop thinking about this as an OST list at a certain point and just thought, I like Fallout 2, I like Half-Life 2 a lot. I'm going to put this at high on the list because it's a very memorable game. Because what are you talking about? What OST? That makes me so angry. Sonic Frontiers definitely wouldn't be the one that I choose to represent Sonic the Hedgehog. How about Sonic the Hedgehog 2? I think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has the best OST amongst the entire game franchise. But that's really more about what you're looking for with your Sonic OST. I just don't think Sonic Frontiers was the one. Portal? So someone whoever made this list has just a massive fandom for Valve games. Doesn't belong here. This is so I get that this is subjective, but like, what OST? What are you talking about? Like 99% of the game doesn't have an OST. So you're basing this off of one song. It's the Cake song. That's it. Ah. I'm just gonna leave this all in. This is just raw. I'm shocked. You just saw me experience shock at the idea that Portal just beat out. I'm gonna keep listing them off. Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy VII, Super Mario Galaxy, Shadow of the Colossus. What? Persona 5. This is where we're getting to subjective territory. There might be some people in my audience that would totally disagree with me. So it's just not as insulting as putting Portal this high. Because at least Persona 5 has a soundtrack and they put a lot of care and attention to it. So we're going to let that pass, and I do think that there's some really solid compositions to Persona 5. Yeah. So, take that for what you will. Red Dead Redemption 2. And they take the one vocal track way at the very end of the game. Man. What? No. No, man. Like, that one song was really emotional. Are we picking OST, or are we picking one incredibly memorable song from each game? I think that might be where we're all getting confused here, and how to clean up what is happening with this list. I think that whoever's picking this list is like, I really liked that one song, therefore I'm gonna rank it based off of how much that one song meant to me, because there is no way you were just listening to of Red Dead Redemption 2 and thinking that that was genius. It was just imitative of spaghetti westerns. That's all it ever was, and that's all it was ever striving to be. It was nothing that special, except for that one song that you have here that really does play up a very emotional part of the game. Does it deserve to rank this high as a result of this one song? No way. Dude, I'm furious. First of all, Metal Gear just ranked number 4. And then they pick Revengeance as the game that represents that franchise. Not Metal Gear Solid 1. Not Metal Gear Solid 2. Not Metal Gear Solid 3 with that amazing intro song. Like, it's easily like the best singular song. Or even Metal Gear Solid 4 with Father and Son. Like, I think Father and Son is one of the best, most emotional compositions in the entire franchise. Revengeance. And number 4. I'm about to puke. Undertale. A lot of people like the OST to Undertale. I get it. It actually does have a really good composition. Megalovania is incredible. And a lot of the other songs on the soundtrack is also great. That's number 3 out of 100 picks and an infinite sea of video game OST. It deserves to be on a top 100 list. Number 3 wouldn't be my choice, but it's valid. It's a valid number 3 for someone else because it does have really strong melodic compositions and they're generally all good across the board. Okay, so I'll concede to that. It just wouldn't be my pick, that's all. That doesn't mean that it's not a good pick. The Witcher. The Witcher 3. I don't remember. I didn't play it that much. I'll be honest with you. Minecraft is... What? Minecraft is number 1. Minecraft is number 1 as the best OST of all time. Is Minecraft. I just want to point this out. I know there's songs for that game, and some of them are really good. That's another game where 99% of the time there is no OST. I can't believe it. Minecraft, #1. This person played Final Fantasy VII. They played Final Fantasy VII. They played Chrono Trigger. That's the... Oh my god. This person or people... Somebody played Chrono Trigger and thought, nope. That one sits way in the back. Put it all the way on the back. Chrono Trigger... Chrono Trigger is... It's good. You know, it deserves to be on the list. You know, give it a little nod. But Minecraft was where it was at. The only way I can make sense of this is that you can get away with picking one really good emotional song and just deciding that the entire OST can be a winner because of that one song. That's the only way I can look at this and make any sense of it. Because Portal and Half-Life too. Oh my god. How do you make Portal and Half-Life better than Chrono Trigger? That... It would make me less freaked out if this list indicated to me that they never even heard of Chrono Trigger. Like, if they had never even tried Chrono Trigger and then they thought Minecraft was... Because then I'd be like, okay, you just have never actually heard the OST to one of the best soundtracks of all time. That's fine. But no, they played it. Somebody's played it and put it on this list and then decided Portal was infinitely better. I'm shocked. I'm really, really shocked that this is a real list. OperaGX. That was something else. I don't know if this was engagement bait. I don't know if this is AI generated or something very, very different. I don't know. It's leaving me in utter... Like, you know me. Usually I can keep the words going. I can talk for 10 minutes at a time, but this is just like... I am just... It just feels like I got off a roller coaster or some traumatic event. It's so weird. I can't believe what I just read. That was... Oh my god. Nope. Don't have an outro for this one. This is... What the heck?